Hi guys, welcome to TGIM and a little nutrition workshop we've got for you tonight. I am Coach Bobby, this is Tash, and this is Jared, and we've got little Layla on the floor over there drawing away. So we've only got a little amount of time tonight, so we thought we might do a little one-on-one interview about our favourite products and what we've used over the last few years to get our amazing results. So I'll start with myself. So I started 2 years ago on a Glow Lean. I lost 2.8 kilos, 15 centimeters, felt amazing. Energy shift was just incredible, and I wanted to keep the energy. So I continued on my nutrition program. I've lost 14 kilos and 57 centimeters to date, and I've now changed up my program and I'm using the 24 range as well to gain some lean muscle. Let's see Tash's little
So I started just under 2 years ago, just after Bob. I did a 10-day detox as well. I lost 4.3 kilos and 15 centimeters in my 10 days. But the energy was insane and the community kept me motivated. To date, I've lost 23 kilos and 75 centimeters from my midsection. And yeah, still going. So
still going strong.
Yeah.
And we'll just hear Jared's little result too.
Hi.
It's not little.
So I jumped on the product 7 years ago, and I started on an ultimate pack. I lost 15 kilos in my first 3 months, 20 overall, put on 11 kilos of muscle when Herbalife 24 come to Australia. But the energy after 3 days of taking my ultimate pack, and very bloke-like taking it as well, 2 shakes with water, shaking in the shaker, whatever I wanted around that, and just smashed all the sups 1 times 3. There was no dividing it up. If you ever meet my sponsor Rowan, you'll recognize why. And yeah, I lost that 15 kilos. But the energy after 3 days, guys, I felt like I was alive again. I guess I've been unknowingly in a zombie state, very, very tired. I didn't know, and I woke up on that 3rd day and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And then it's been the same thing for, I don't wake up like that anymore because it's normal, but it's been the same thing for 7 years. So feel fantastic.
Cool. So we've all got some amazing results, and you all heard us say the same thing, which was energy. There's a whole different bunch of reasons why we have this energy, but one of the main reasons is because we all love to smash this one, which is the instant herbal beverage. This is our energizing tea. So it's energizing, fat burning. It's a mixture of green and black tea. It's really high in antioxidants, and it works thermally. So it heats up your body, gets your metabolism going, and yeah, pretty much just burns fat. The more you drink, the more you shrink. And it's one of my very favorite products. This one's cinnamon. Comes in cinnamon original, which is like a citrus flavor, and peach as well. Tasha's going to talk about one of her favorite products.
So I have the multi here. The multi is our Formula 2, so it goes with the shake. The reason I love this is because it's helped with my hair and my nails and all that sort of stuff, but just general well-being as well. But I guess the bigger reason why I like it is because I give it to my 4-year-old daughter every day. She's been having it for about 12 months every day, and it stops the little things like the runny nose and little bacteria that like to hang around. And she just every morning has one of those.
She loves to be like mum, wants to take the supplements as well. Jared?
So I literally have a story of how each of the products have helped me, I think. So I'm just looking through trying to find my favorite, and aside from the obvious, which is the Formula 1 meal replacement, number 1 meal replacement in the world, it'd probably be the Rebuild Strength. Reason being is when I used to go to the gym, I used to pull up really, really sore. And I'm talking, once I couldn't even straighten my legs. My calves were so tight, I couldn't even, literally couldn't straighten my legs because the tendons were too tight. So I used to get some serious DOMS, or delayed muscle soreness. And with delayed onset muscle soreness, I think it is, because it's DOM.
Dom?
D-O-M. Anyway, let's Google that later. And I found, and I used to take protein powders, used to eat, but my brother's a bodybuilder, used to send me his diets. I used to eat to the T. And I still was so sore all the time that I couldn't actually get in the gym enough to get the results I was after, or put on the muscle that I was after. And I started using this, and I went from 3 sessions a week that were a struggle to 5 to 6 a week without really, like, you've been to the gym, but I wasn't, ready to call the ambulance because I was so sore. So absolutely love this product. One of the reasons that is it's got all the stuff you need for working out all in one. So you don't have to be measuring out BCAAs, amino acids, all these other things that don't make any sense to me. You feel like a bit of a witch doctor when you're having all your potions before you work out. This has everything in it. So you don't have to think about it. 2 scoops, water, bang, tastes like chocolate milk, and you get crazy results.
Amazing. I love the rebuild. I'll just give you another one of my favorite ones quickly. I don't have it here, but it's the herbal concentrate. So it comes in mandarin, mango, and original. Original, again, is kind of citrusy, but I really love it because I have digestive issues sometimes, especially when I've eaten the wrong thing or just been a bit slack with my diet. And I find it really soothes my stomach and reduces bloating. It can also enhance results up to 40% when you're on a program and using it with it, whether that's weight loss, muscle gain, general well-being. Which is really good. It's good for your skin as well. Aloe's got that soothing property. Yeah, I really love it. Just drink it in my water as often as I can. Just second favorite product.
I'd probably go the Formula One. It is a full meal replacement shake. It does come in 5 yummy flavors, or technically I think there's 7, they say. So you have the French vanilla, the Dutch choc, cookies and cream, choc mint, berry, but you also have the select, which is our gluten-free option, and then there's the Formula Sports as well, which are all our shakes. But it's the wife to the Formula 2, so everything that tastes good is in here and everything that tastes bad is in your multi. But I just love that you can change the taste up so much, and I can just have a shake and run out the door. I don't, my mornings are heaps faster and better, and I don't feel like I'm starving for the day.
You're also getting more vitamins and minerals than you would eating a whole food meal. Yep. What a way to start your day.
Right, which one? So let's go one of the forgotten, amazing, or not forgotten because I still smash it, but one that we don't really talk about too much, which is Herbal Lifeline. So the reason why I really, really, really like this product is it's one of the products that they say with Herbalife, there's 2 stages when you really notice how good the products are. Firstly, when you first take them and you feel the difference, but then if you've been on them for an extended period of time, you're just used to it, I guess. I was going to use an example, but I won't because it's an unhealthy one. So with the Herbal Lifeline, what I found was when I first started taking it, I was like, oh, I feel a bit better, but it wasn't like a wow thing, kind of like when you have a tea and you're like, whoa, feel up and about. But when I stopped taking it, I started doing things like putting the milk in the cupboard and, putting the cereal back in the fridge, or the shake canister back in the fridge. And it's kind of like, what's happening to me? And I looked in my tablet box and I ran out of the omega-3 Herbal Lifeline. And it's because fatty acids that are in the Herbal Lifeline are absolutely amazing, not only for your heart health, for your joint health, for your organ health, but also your brain health as well. So now I really notice when I stop taking this, it's like my IQ cuts in half and I turn into like a caveman. So I really, really, really notice it, and especially like in my knees and my elbows, like my major joints when I'm working out, especially if I'm going to the gym and doing things like weights or lots of stuff that cause a lot of strain on my joints. Really helps keep me greased up and ready to go.
Good one.
So I really like it.
Cool. So we're going to have to hand it over to Katie because we don't have much time tonight. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to chuck it in the comments below and tag one of us in it and we'll answer it for you. Are you good to go, Katie?
Yes, I'm good.
Awesome. I'll mute us. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was good. That was very informative. All right. So tonight I thought I'd just go through a few things. Given that we're over halfway through the year, And we always set goals at the start of each year, and we always have our New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and all that sort of stuff. And then it gets to the end of the year, and we're like, oh shit, I didn't do that. So we're just going to go through, now that it's August, we've still got 4 months left. So it's important not to think, well, year's nearly done, I'll just focus on next year. Focus on getting as much done in this year that you can, in terms of things that align with your goals. So think about what were your goals at the start of the year, and if you can't remember, what are they now? So think about like all aspects of life, so family, friends, other relationships, exercise, work, sport, all those sorts of things. And then have a think about what you've been, like how you're progressing towards them. So maybe give yourself a rating on a scale of like 1 to 5. So 1 being you have made no progress and you've completely forgotten about them. 5 being like you've nailed it or you're well on track to nail it. And 3 being like, oh yeah, half. So once you're giving yourself a score, and if you don't get time in this, you can go back and do it. But just write down what's stopping you from achieving those things. So it might be people, it might be things, might be other barriers. Just write down what those things are. And again, it might be a few things that come up and cross over and overlap with being barriers over different areas. But just write that down. So you're all still frantically writing. It's hard. Layla looks like she's writing, but I think she's actually just drawing. All right. So I heard a quote the other day. It was really good. It was like, and it was along the lines of, "Don't do the same thing 70 years in a row and call it a life." So that's why it's important to set goals, and that's why it's important to reassess your goals. And goals and dreams will always change, particularly as you change as well. So I want you to write down this year 5 things you're grateful for that have happened in the past 12, or just all things or that you're grateful for in the past 12 months. And even if you only get a couple down now, that's okay. Then 5 things that have taken you closer to living your dream. Someone just jumped on. 5 things you've done this year to improve your life. And again, some of these things might overlap. Um, 5 great decisions you've made. So they can be anything like, I did this a little while back, but mine were start my own business, become a better version of myself, build a house, stick to my goals and positive influences, be happy and take control. So they can be like simple decisions and that sort of stuff as well. Oh, someone ignore. Okay, sorry, a weird thing came up. All right, and 5 things you're proud of that you've achieved so far this year. And then 5 lessons you've learned. So again, the lessons you learn they can overlap or they can be specific to certain things. So my examples would be say yes now, figure it out later. If you're not pissing people off, you're not doing anything important. Don't allow people to make you question yourself. And laser focus, create habits that align with your goals, and that the people who judge are people who have a low opinion of themselves. So they can be linked in with different things that you've wanted to achieve. So now I want you to go back and look at what your goals were at the beginning of this year and what you've written down that of things that are barriers and things that are stopping you and holding you back from achieving those, and cross them out, because the only thing that's holding you back is you. So it comes back to that Will Smith philosophy of fault versus responsibility. And like, it's very easy short term to blame other people and that sort of thing for things happening and the way things are in our life. But in reality, until we accept responsibility and take responsibility and take control, we're just going to sit in that state. So like John Kehoe says, it's important not to blame life. Look within yourself to change it and turn it around. And you are a creator of all things going on in your life. So whether that's positive or negative, you are the creator of that. So again, you can keep blaming and taking no responsibility and using excuses and that sort of thing. But until you are willing to take responsibility for yourself and decide what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to do and achieve, and go for it, then you're just going to stay in that situation. So it comes down to long-term versus short-term decisions. So short-term, it's very easy to sit inside your comfort zone and blame other things and other people and that sort of thing. And then there's the long-term decision, like, well, if I push through this, take responsibility, go outside my comfort zone and achieve this and jump those barriers, short term it is hard. It's not easy, because if it was easy, everyone would do it, right? So, but then you jump those barriers, and then long term that makes you better. And then more barriers come, and then you jump them again. But as you keep jumping those, practice that, like, it's almost like an external skill is jumping those barriers. And once you do them more and more and more, then it becomes easier and easier and easier, and you become more aware. Like, when you feel that fear, you're like, oh, this is fear, this is good, and you become more aware of that, and you develop that metacognition as well. So that's all. Any questions? Jared's typing. It's in type mode. Do you have a question? Well, it's a long question. Okay. How do you prioritize your goals so you can grow the number? Makes sense. How do you prioritize your goals so you can grow the number? Daily. Daily, I mean. So if you're 3 out of 5 on something, oh yes, good one. So I'm with you. So before, when you gave yourself the scale on how you're progressing towards your goal, so obviously, like, let's say your goal was to lose 10 kilos and you haven't lost anything, or you put on like you haven't, like you've gone the opposite, so that will be like a 1 or a 0. So obviously that's something you need to work on. So if you're like a 4 or a 5, then keep going and keep progressing towards those goals as you are. So it's important to play to your strengths, but develop your areas of weakness as well. So if you're a 1 or something, then obviously that's something you really need to work on. So reverse engineer that. So if your goal was to lose 10 kilos, you've got 4 months, which is achievable far quicker than that anyway, but you've got 4 months. How can you achieve that from here until the end of the year? And then go back into like daily actions that would align with those goals. So it might be have your shake for breakfast, exercise 5-6 times a week. It might just be like increase your incidental exercise as well. Like it doesn't have to be going to the gym. It might be just parking your car further away and like little things like that, taking the stairs rather than the lift and all that sort of thing. Hope that answers your question, Jared.
He said yes. I just don't want to type it because I.
Okay, you can just ask questions on YouTube if you want.
What's your favorite like category to do goals for?
Yeah, so for me, I like to like how Jared took us through that goal setting session, how you do work and like general like exercise or physical goals, and then like family and sport, and categorize it like that. For me, I find goals working on myself are the most important, because your life is a reflection of you. So and your life is a reflection of your like subconscious mind. So if I can keep working on that, and then that allows me to then go outside my comfort zone. So that is my favorite category. Particularly like I've got at the moment, my mindset is good, so I've got new clients coming on. I had a new member sign up yesterday. I've got one signing up tomorrow. So it definitely reflects in your life.
I knew that was going to be.
Yeah, so yeah, it is my favorite one, and it's one of those things like your wisdom starts when you realize you don't know everything. And even though I'm happy now, like I still know there's so much more I have to learn, and there's still so much more I can still grow so much more, and my grammar can be better.
Okay.
There you go. Nice and loud.
Go. Say how old. Say how old.
It's Cole.
See Cole just there.
Say hi, Cole.
Hey.
Say how old.
How old?
Loud.
How old
Should I be
should I be
when I start goals?
when I start goals?
Today, Layla.
Gonna set some
So
goals.
you can set goals too. So, and I do this with students at school. We set weekly goals. So they have a learning goal, a home goal, and a character trait they want to work on. So it might be kindness, being confident, being grateful. Lots of different character traits. And then a home goal might be do a job for mum and dad every day, or organise a family movie night. Lots of different things like that. So the earlier you start, the better, because it's a life skill. So by the time you become an adult, you'll just be ace at it. That was a good question, though.
I have a question and
Yeah.
a statement. Firstly, I'm going to send the kids to wherever you're teaching. Hopefully by the time they're there, your president's team, though. And you'll be but you can just homeschool my kids. I'll just pay you.
Yeah.
But my question is, so I think a lot of people struggle to actually make those. You spoke about making those little decisions.
Yeah.
that move you towards your goals, because that's essentially what it is, isn't it? Taking the stairs versus taking the lift, which I did
Yeah.
the other day. So good example.
Good
and I
one.
pressed all the buttons, so Bobby got up there super late, and I smashed her when I ran up the stairs. Every level. Boop, 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 boop. But anyway, that's
Just
a
a win-win.
serious story. How do you keep it front of mind? Like, do you have any tips on? Because I think a lot of people just get complacent, and then they might start the day with their goals in mind, but they definitely don't end the day with their goals in mind. Or they might start a plan and do one day, maybe 2 or 3, but they really struggle to follow it through and make it consistent. What's like your tips on making it just always there, like always, so when you're actually making your decisions, you're thinking about your goals? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think it's something that you build over time as well.
It's a must.
And again, having it in the front of your mind all comes down to how much you're willing to develop your mind. So that is why, like, my morning routine is, like, I allocate a lot of time to remembering my goals, and like I've been actually writing down 10 affirmative goals every morning, and attaching a feeling to that. So, like, for example, one would be I've impacted 5,000 women in 5 years. So, and what was it? And like, it might be, and it's been so fulfilling, and I feel so like proud, or whatever. All different ones. So, I think it comes back to, for it being front of mind, you have to put it in your mind. So, like, obviously, I think it's Jim Rohn talks about when a farmer wants to grow corn, he needs to plant corn seeds. So you can't expect to not be feeding your mind with positive things, and then expect your life to be positive. So, like, that's why every morning I'm reflecting on that and consciously feeding my subconscious mind. And it also comes down to that self-belief as well, that you are worth it. Like, that's what I definitely find, like, particularly with physical health results with a lot of clients. The difference between the successful and not successful ones are the ones that I can break through to realizing that they are worth it and they deserve it. So I think a lot of the time, especially like when there's different temptations and that sort of stuff, I think it is at the front of their mind, but they feel like they have to please that person and eat that pizza to be accepted, and that sort of thing. So sometimes I think it is at the front of their mind, but they're putting other people before themselves, which is why I always drum into people, you're the one who lives in your body, so don't let other people tell you what to put in it.
I like that. That's good. Grant Cardone does the same thing. He writes down his goals every morning when he wakes up, or when he first gets in the, like when it's work time. First thing, writes them down. He said he just has all these bits of, like, all these notepads, and geez, we get enough of them as Herbalife distributors. So,
Yeah.
you could have enough notepads if you're going to the events. So I like it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so like my morning routine, and it's really simple. It's just something I've built over time. It's just, first thing I have is some sort of positive mindset video. So listening to like Jim Rohn, John Kehoe, Les Brown, Will Smith, like any of those ones. And then I do a workout, and then while I'm having my breakfast and that sort of stuff, then I have an audiobook playing. So I've been listening to Motivation Manifesto like 7 times over. But you still pick up different things every time as well.
Yeah.
And then I read. So I've been reading Ikigai. So that's like Japanese based book about happiness. and then and then sometimes I'll like read over my compliment bank or add things into my compliment bank, just depending on where I'm at. But like I'm at that point where I can feel my level of happiness and stress and anxiety and that sort of stuff as well. So some days I'll do more, but I just make sure my cup is full before I can go out and do everything else for the day. Because people you have to pour into other people's cups, and people take from your cup, and people spill your cup and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. Cup spillers. Love it.
Clumsy.
So let's say someone had, I think everyone on here except Dennis is a member. So let's say someone had some business goals.
Yeah.
Over the next 2 weeks, what would you be attempting to do to grow yourself in the business and all that type of stuff from a development?
Well, I think it sounds funny, but until you do it, like once you actually do it, then you understand it. But the best way to, like the thing that holds us all back is like fear and fear of judgment and fear of having someone say no. And the best way to overcome that is to actually go out and put yourself out there, and expose yourself to those no's. Because when you get them, you're actually like, oh, that wasn't actually that bad. And sometimes you do get some, like people who are like rude and that sort of thing. But again, that's just a reflection on them, and you think, well, they really need my help, but that's okay. They're not ready yet. So that all comes back to personal development and also having a why that's strong enough. So your reason for doing the business needs to be bigger than just you. Otherwise, it's too easy to put it aside each day. Does that answer your question?
Yep. And Layla's got a question.
She come up with this all on her own. What? Just ask her what you just said.
It's a good one.
You said.
No, you said.
You're like the new question master, Layla.
I don't think it really has any.
How many days do you work out?
Well, I like to do something every day just because it makes me feel good, but I usually have one day a week where I'm just going for a walk or something like that. But now I have to amp it up because I've got the charity ride coming up. That was a good question again.
Anyway,
Cool. She's got
Is that
another.
all the questions?
What's your favourite scary movie?
Tell me what?
Oh, I don't like scary movies.
No one cares about that.
Okay. Cool.
No one else has questions. Is Question Master Layla out?
She just wants to know how many days do you go out, Cole?
How many days do you go out?
Do you leave the house?
Like leave
Generally
the house
every
and then, or
day,
go to
get
the
out
pub?
of the house.
In the pub.
She wants to know how many times you go to the pub.
Well, I used to go a lot, but now it doesn't align with my goals. So I don't go very much now.
Does that make sense?
It's a good one, Cole.
Good one, Cole.
Good choice,
Do
Cole.
you go to the pub, Layla?
How many times do you go to the pub a week?
How many times do you go to the pub?
Is that in line with your goals? You're trying to find a husband.
50 times.
50 times? You have no idea how many times she actually does ask me to go to the stump. Every time I drive past there.
Let's go to the stuff.
Go to Bendigo, Layla. There's lots of pubs there.
You got any more questions?
We're running out of time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just about out.
On the countdown.
How many? How many?
She's been a weirdo now.
Question Master's lost the plot.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cole, just really quickly, we've got 2
Yeah.
minutes. obviously we've got an event coming up with Joanna down in Melbourne. She's absolutely crushing it. And we've got the BTS coming up. We just got our guest speaker, Erica. I'll release that soon in the Herbert Family, guys. And these things. And obviously it takes, like, obviously for anything great to happen, it requires some level of sacrifice. Like if you're an athlete, you're training. Oh shit, we're running out of time. We're not going to get the question. But how would you prioritize that towards achieving your business goals? Things like the SDS and the BTS and that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I guess that comes back to looking at the goals you've set at the start of the year and your progress towards them, like with your rating scale, and making that decision. So, and yeah, like you said, Jared, like sacrifices come with success. Like if you want to lose weight, you can't always be having cake at the parties and drinking alcohol and all that sort of stuff. And like to do well in this business, like essentially it is a business. Like what business do you know where they don't have to make, like sacrifices don't have to be made? And I guess I'm lucky because I grew up watching, well, my dad and my brothers work really hard and they have their own business. It is very successful, but they make a lot of sacrifices, particularly with time, like working super long hours. Like John would work minimum 70 hours a week. Like that would be a small week for him. That'd be like a cruisy week. So, and always to people looking from the outside, they're like, oh, you guys are just rich, you're so lucky, blah, blah. And like, I see all this sacrifice and stuff happening. And it's always going to be, not everyone will understand that you have to make sacrifices. And that's okay. They don't have to, because again, you're the one who's living your life. So live it how you want to, as long as you're not doing anyone harm.
Yeah. Cool. Love it.
Cool.